Prehistoric phase. Ancient Indian history is categorized into two categories by historians, and these two categories are known as prehistoric era and historic era. Prehistoric is that period that does not have written records of events and written records of the events, politics, society, economic activity, etc. And hence, whatever information or knowledge we have about the prehistoric period is totally based on the materials found in the archaeological excavation, archaeological excavation, while the historic period encompasses the time afterwards. The prehistoric period is the prehistoric period is further divided into, while the historic period क्या होता है encompasses the time afterward. The prehistoric period is further divided into three ages: Stone Age, Bronze Age, Iron Age. The Stone Age, the first age of the humans in the Indian subcontinent, is known as Stone Age. The first age of the human life in Indian subcontinent is known as Stone Age, and the Stone Age is said to be started about 2.6 million years ago. The Stone Age is said to be started about 2.6 million years ago and lasted until about 3300 million BC and 3300 BC, when the Bronze Age began. Stone Age was the strongest material used by mankind. Stone Age was the most advanced technology. The technology of the metal was absent, and the life evolved around the stone tools. And the Stone Age commenced with the arrival of the first man on the Indian subcontinent. As per the claim made by the researchers, human life evolved in Africa at first. From there, the man moved in different directions. At that time, peninsular India was quite close to the African continent. By using rafts, men swam across the Africa to peninsular India. From there, they moved in different directions. The earliest evidence of the Stone Age was found at Wari, Latur district, Maharashtra. It was almost 1.4 million years ago, and this was the last phase of the Great Ice Age, known as the Pleistocene period. The ice had started melting, and as a result, the evolution of the human life could take place. The timeline, the three phases in the Stone Age, and they are known as Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic. Paleolithic to like 50,000 BC to 10,000 BC, उसका lifestyle था hunters और food gatherers, tools and weapons used, hand axe, blade, tools and choppers. Mesolithic का 10,000 to 6,000 BC and hunters and herders था, microlith tools था. Neolithic पीरियड में टाइमलाइन हो गया 2000 BC से 4000 BC, फूड प्रोड्यूसर, पॉलिश टूल्स. Human life during the Paleolithic and Mesolithic age of the stages was really a hunting-gathering society, and the human lifestyle was very primitive. But on the other hand, during the Neolithic phase, humans started to settle. This human settlement happened because of the increased agricultural practices like cultivation of the crops, animal husbandry. Therefore, the Neolithic era is very significant in human history due to the wandering humans and now starting to settle down. Later on, the Stone Age was replaced by the Chalcolithic Age. This Chalcolithic Age was the first known age where the first time human civilization used metal, and hence this age is also called as the Copper Age, and along with the Chalcolithic Age. This period is also referred to as the first transitional period because widespread use of the tools made from the stone was carried out along with the use of the copper metallurgy. After the Chalcolithic age, the Iron Age appeared, and during the Iron Age period, the more focus was given to the development and use of the iron metals. And this phase was human civilization is also very significant because the iron metallurgy technology were used. Paleolithic age, and it is said that the Paleolithic period was started when the humans first started. first learned to make tools, and that earliest known great achievement made by the humans. Great achievement made by the humans. Human civilization is learning of the first hazard and sphere and one. The historian said that India's oldest Stone Age or Paleolithic culture was developed in the Pleistocene period of the Ice Age. And this period was also the geologically important period in the Earth's history, and when the Earth was fully covered by the ice and the weather was so cold that the human or plant life could not survive. But in the tropical region, where the ice melted and the earliest species of the man could exist, food gathering and hunting were the primary occupation of this people. And another important feature was validating men learned क्या learned किया to cover करने के लिए themselves in the animal skin. Paleolithic human society उस समय उनको knowledge नहीं था कि having houses, pottery and agriculture, but it was developed हो गया धीरे धीरे in later stage of this period when they came to know about the fire. Paleolithic is divided into three phases में lower Paleolithic, middle Paleolithic and upper Paleolithic. Classification of the phases and the subphases of the Stone Age को carried out किया गया था किसी basis पर on the basis of the change in the pattern of the living and metal culture and tool economic and tool technique economic activities etc. लोअर और अर्लियर पैराडाइटिक एज में क्या हुआ था टू लेग 50,000 वही सेम चीज़ तो है हैंड एक्शन अच्छा थोड़ा सा अलग है टू लेग 50,000 बीसी से 1 लाख बीसी में हैंड एक्स और स्लीवर कॉपर एंड चॉपिंग मिडिल पैराडाइटिक में 1 लाख से 40,000 बीसी तक चला और फ्लैग इम्प्लीमेंट यूज हुआ अपर और लोअर पैराडाइटिक में 40,000 बीसी टू 10,000 बीसी तक चला इम्प्लीमेंट्स मेड ऑफ द ब्लेड एंड फ्लैक्स द रिवर जो था उस समय तापी गोदावरी ब्रह्मा एंड कृष्णा उसके बगल में बहुत सारे न्यूमर ऑफ द पैरालिथिक साइट्स मिले हैं लोअर पैरालिथिक क्या इन दिस पीरियड द टूल्स वर मेड फ्रॉम द एक्सट्रैक्टिंग अ फ्लैग फ्रॉम ए स्टोन ब्लॉक ऑफ द कोर अंटिल दे क्या करता है टुक करता है राइट साइज एंड शेप इन दिस पीरियड पीपल क्या करने लगा यूज करने लगा tools like the hand axe or chopper clever tools were rough and heavy bore in the Maharashtra near Pune को considered किया जाता है as the to be the earliest known Paleolithic sites in some of the other parts of India. जैसे कि उसमें कि in Karnataka limestone was the first material. Limestone क्या था पहला material था. Middle Paleolithic में tools of this as were primarily from the smaller light flat tools and blades. The blades उस समय का जो टूल्स था primarily smaller light flat tools and blades थे was a dominant the फ्लैग इंडस्ट्री उस समय का ना डोमिनेंट इंडस्ट्री हुआ करता था मेड टूल्स करता था तो किस तरह का टूल्स बनाता था मेड टूल्स लाइक स्क्रैपर्स पॉइंट्स एंड borers this size of the tools also decreased during this period and tools of the middle Paleolithic age were also found in the northwest region of the India and tools that were made from the stone tools have been found in the Potwar Plate between the Indus and Jhelum River. This era जैसे कि इसमें like the development of the tools for carrying out various activities also technology demonstration for improving human humanity development at this stage is the size of the tools क्या हुआ further decrease हुआ in this period the microliths of the mint stone tools को introduce किया गया था which were made of the variety of the silica rich material the treasure of the tools belong करता था इस समय का इस around in Bhimbetka south of the Bhopal Karnool Cape Telangana and Son Valley Madhya Pradesh and Patna in Maharashtra Bhimbetka is the earliest known painting of this age. Bhimbetka is the earliest known painting of this age, which is the upper Paleolithic phase, and these paintings describe करता है that the hunting was the main activity carried out by the people, and one important feature of the upper Paleolithic period is that the people used to live करता था in the small communities. Now, evolution of the human life in the Paleolithic age. The earliest man in the Indian subcontinent was Homo habilis, and during the lower Paleolithic age, during the lower Paleolithic age, it was the Homo erectus. In the Middle Paleolithic age, it was the Homo sapiens. The cranial capacity developed adequately, and earliest evidence of the modern man is Hathnora. The skeleton found at Hathnora was that of the woman of almost 30 years, and Hathnora hominin cranium, living fetal. They had no skill in building an artificial home, and natural caves were used. Evidence can be traced in the Vindhyan mountain and Bhimbetka, and northern plains were not occupied. They lived in the foothills of the mountain as the as the rivers were narrow and forests were less dense and could be cleared by the early stone tools. There were no fear of the flood. Stones were easily available here, and the caves were also available easily.